Alright, ladies and gentlemen, good morning, good afternoon, depending on the time of day. I made up for you a worksheet with three word problems on them. I'm going to show you how to use the calculator to solve them. So, let's kind of get right in there. The price of gasoline at a local station throughout the month of March is modeled by the equation y equals negative 0.0, and so forth, where x equals 1 corresponds to March 1st, so on. Okay. Now, on which day in March did the gasoline reach its maximum? What was the highest price of gasoline in March? What we're going to do here is we're going to type things in. Hit focus real quick. Sorry for the, hope it's a little better. Now, I'm going to type in the function right here. Negative 0.014 x squared plus 0.44x minus 2.324. And I can hit graph. Now you'll notice for this one, this is my normal screen, that you can kind of see it, alright? And I need to make it go further to the right. So I'm going to go to my window, I'm going to make my X max bigger. Because I'm talking about a month, I'm going to go with like 35. That should be good enough, I think. Cool. Now I'm going to zoom in a little bit, so I'm going to make my X min smaller because I don't need it to be that big. I'm going to make my X max smaller and my X min smaller. This is just like for me because I want to make it look better, that's all. Now, please note it says on which day in March did the price of gasoline reach its maximum. Each of the X's stands for a day in the month. I want the maximum value up top. So here we're going to go back to doing my calculator tricks. We can hit second. Alright, you hit second, then trace. Okay, oops, second, trace, and I want the maximum. I wonder which word it's going to be. So in this one, I want maximum. If you're wondering how I knew to hit maximum, just read the problem. Which one did it reach its maximum? So we come down here, number 4, hit enter. Now left bound. I want this point right here. When it says left bound, you have to take your cursor so that you are to the left of it. Doesn't matter where. You could be all the way over here, wherever, as long as you're left of it. Hit enter. Right bound. You take your cursor. You have to be to the right of it. Okay? Please do not make this difficult. It's really not that bad. Hit enter. Then it says guess. Hit enter. Now, check out what this is saying here. The point is 15.71. Comma 1.13. Now the X value stands for your day in the month. So 15.71, honestly I would round that to March 16th. Okay, it's a little bit past 15, well it's more past 15 and a half. As far as the highest price goes, look at your point. It's your Y value. What's the Y value? $1.13 is your highest value. All we did there was hit a few buttons on the calculator. Okay? If you want to, this is all we're doing. Hit second, then trace, maximum, left bound, right bound, guess. You're hitting enter each time. Okay? That is going to really help you guys out later on. I basically copied the same problem down from yesterday. And just changed a little bit about it. Actually, I think it's the same exact problem. I changed a little bit about it, but okay. So, same idea here. I just wanted to re-show you this because it can't hurt. Go back to y equals. Now, one thing I'm going to teach you guys too is hit the zoom button in the middle and go back to zoom standard. This is like going back to start. Go into y equals. I'm going to exit out of this. Type in this entire thing up here. 0.125 x squared minus 569x plus 848,123. And then because I do want the 400,000 down here, I'm going to go to y2 and type in 400,000. Now again, you'll notice when I hit graph, probably not going to see anything. So I got to go to my window. My x max, I'm going to make it bigger. I believe from yesterday it was around 6,000. My y max, I think it's somewhere around 900,000. I can hit graph. Okay, looking good, looking good. much the same as yesterday. So you type them both in. Now I'm going to hit second trace, but this time I want where it intersects. All right. Because check out here, it says for which harvest timber volumes is the value of the timber at least 400,000 per million square feet. That's why I put the 400,000 going across. So I hit enter on intersect, and just move your cursor. And I'm going to the left because, again, just to show you guys, see how it says 2200 here is my max? Well, that means anything to the right of my cursor right now I don't need, so I'm just going back to the left. First curve, enter, enter, enter. So again, we have 1012.60, comma 400,000. So it goes first curve, oops, second curve, guess, and we're hitting enter each time. Okay. So for what harvest timber volumes is the value of the timber at least 400,000? Remember, it starts here at 400. So it goes from 400, so the smallest part, up till 1012.60. That's what we're looking at. Okay, you're giving a value of it. So real quick recap. To find your maximum, second trace, maximum, left bound, right bound. Find your intersect, second trace, intersect, find where they meet. Okay. Now this last one's a very good problem too. In 1992, the average income I in dollars for a doctor aged X years could be modeled by the following equation. Yada yada yada. For which ages did the average income for a doctor exceed 200,000? Okay. So for this one, I'm typing it in again. Notice a common trend here. I'm going to go back to Zoom, Standard. Let's go back to Start. Okay, I'm going to go to my Y equals. I'm going to clear this stuff out. I no longer need it. Let's type this all in. Negative 425x squared plus 42,500 minus 761,000. It says exceed 200,000. So I'm going to go down here to 2 and type in 200,000, much like the last problem. Hit graph. Again, I'm hoping by now you guys realize, hey, this probably isn't going to be, it's not going to show up. I'm going to hit window. Now notice it says X is number of years for a doctor. What do you think the max amount of years a doctor would live? I mean, roughly a human being. So I mean, like 100. I'm going to go a little higher. But as far as the Y max goes, we're talking about the amount of money that a doctor can make. Now you notice that we already picked 200,000 there, so it's going to be above that. I'm going to go 500,000 because they make a lot of money. Okay, so I have 500,000 typed in here. Now I can hit graph. Okay, here's my graph. Now, take a look. It says, for what ages did the average income for a doctor exceed 200,000? So I want to know what this point is and that point. All right? So I'm going to have to do the intersection twice. So I'm going to hit second trace, intersection, and I'm going to near the first point. Boom, boom, boom. So it's the first point is 34.55, comma 200,000. The second point, again, I'm doing the same thing. Second trace, intersect, enter, 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 65, comma 45, comma 200,000. So for what ages did the average income exceed it? We'll take a look at your X values. According to my graph model right here, these are the two, all right, between these two values. So I would say 34.55 is less than or equal to X is less than or equal to 65.45. Okay, so between these ages. All right. I know it seems a little bit strange, and I don't know about you guys, but just something to think about. Like, it doesn't make sense that it would drop then, like your salary. But again, just according to the model, that's all we're looking for, okay? So one last final recap, much the same. Second trace is your go-to, the calculate menu. You have your intersect in there, you have your maximum in there, okay? And those two things will be everything that you need for your quiz tomorrow. Guys, please make sure you know how to graph inequalities. That's like 90% of the quiz. If you can do that, you're going to be in good shape. And if you need any help, say the word. Otherwise, hope this video helps. And as always, good luck. We're all counting on you.